previous videos I've showed you how to slice a video to make it smaller, easier to deal with when creating GIFs. I created another script to make a GIF out of that sliced video, and now I'm going to show you how to add text to it. So I'll just quickly go over the script that I've created. Another batch file using FFMPEG. Same thing, just checking if it's available from the command line, checking if the parameters were provided, setting the parameters. So the first one is going to be the input file name, then we're using the frame number for the start frame for when the text is going to be displayed, and the end frame number, the text that we're adding, and the output file name. So we're going to save it to a new file, and optionally the font size. If the text that we're adding is a little bit too large, we want to decrease the font size in order to fit it. The font size is one I just added while I was creating, or getting ready to create this video actually. So it's not necessary we're going to have it at a 24 pixel font size unless you provide an additional font size, and then it's just going to overwrite it. Just quickly go over a little bit of the command that we're going to use for FFmpeg. I'm not going to go through everything because it is a long one. Just some things that you might want to change though. So the font that we're using is just going to be Arial, and this could live somewhere else on your computer depending on your setup. I'm not too sure. You won't have to change any of the parameters when think anyway. So the font color is going to be white. You can change that if you like. I did a small border. I just found that it really helped the text pop, especially when there's white in the GIF. Border width is hard-coded at 2 pixels. Font size here. This is just centering the text. The start and the end frames, this is helping to center the text as well. Similar palette video filters from the previous videos as well, and the output GIF file name. So I've got a video prepared as well as a list of commands. We're going to be adding multiple pieces of text to a single GIF. Got a few commands ready. First, we will be making the GIF from a video that I've downloaded, a clip. It's a little bit larger. It's over a minute, so you can see it takes a little bit longer, and this is why in the previous video, or a previous video, we've been slicing the videos in smaller chunks that are easier to deal with. One thing worth mentioning is you can look at the output here to see how many frames were created in the GIF. So here we have 56, and you can see in our commands here that we do go from 0 to 56. This will ensure that there's text on every frame of the GIF. So here's the GIF that we've made. Unlike the previous one, this one requires a little bit of text to understand what's going on. So we're going to add that next. Moving back to our editor, you can see I have the next command highlighted. This is the script that I had just shown previously, and we're just adding one piece of text that's part of the dialogue that's going on. Let's copy that into the terminal, and let's see what we've created. Alright, so here is the GIF after we've added some text to it. You can see the file name is WebBlanket2. We will be creating new files for each chunk of text that we're adding. This is a lot easier. If you ever have to redo a piece, you can just go back to whatever chunk you were dealing with and recreate it. Back to the list of commands here, you can see the next one has this optional parameter that I mentioned earlier about the font size. So first we'll just have a look at what the output is without using it. It actually does just fit, but I want it to be a little bit closer. I don't like when it's touching the edges there, so I'm going to shrink the font size just a little bit. And back to our console. We can just run the same command again, but we're going to add that optional parameter for the font size. And the file already exists, so we're using the wet blanket 2 as the input, and then we're going to use the same wet blanket 3 as the output. And it's just going to ask us if we want to overwrite it. So we'll use Y for yes, and then we can see the output. You can see now that the text is a lot more centered. It is noticeably a little bit smaller, and we could even use something like a font size of 22, but this is just for fun, so I don't really care. It looks good. And back to our terminal once more, we will input the final chunk of text so we can complete the GIF. And here's our final GIF. So this is just a scene from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I thought it would be a really funny GIF to make for when someone's being a real stick in the mud. As always, these scripts will be available on my website. I'll leave a link in the description. And if you have any ideas on how to improve it, please leave a comment. Thanks.